What's up, Neurology? Good to see you guys. Big game tonight, man, versus the Falcons for franchise. Obviously, tomorrow we're going to do Ultimate Team again. We lost in the conference championship for all you Mutt fans out there, man. It sucks. It was an interception, man, the goal line, dude. The man coverage just so glitchy, dude. I was a little bit upset. But anyway, the implications on this game, we had the 4 seed with a win. We have a good chance to go up to the 3 or even the 2 seed eventually. However, a loss, we actually fall back to possibly the 7 seed with barely any breathing room. Barely any breathing room. So Monday Night Football, man, flashbacks tomorrow, yeah. I won't be streaming for the reveals, but the reveals will be there almost at the end. I'm going to change my jerseys here to probably... Let's see if he wants to change his. I'll change mine. We both changed our jerseys there for a minute. But yeah, anyway, big game here against the 12-0 defending NFC champions. Honestly... the Falcons team is really built a lot of X factors there. JT Tomalu, I can't say his name right, but Aiden Hutchinson, Caleb Williams. Obviously, X factors give you more abilities and stuff like that. Jalen Wright with Tank. We can't really hissick him that much tonight. There's a reason why this team right now is 12-0 here in the NFC. But here we go. Primetime game, AT&T Stadium. No better place to be. Monday Night Football. Here we go, everyone. ESPN, it's go time, man. What's up, Hemi? Spotlight tokens. That I think you are going to be correct for. That's if they do flashbacks, every single week. They might not do flashbacks every single week, so. But yeah, the key to tonight's game is obviously try to stop Jalen Wright, stuff like that. 21-yard line, you guys should be able to see the scoreboard. We changed our camera angle to be right above the scoreboard for, your content viewing. But, like I said, it's going to be a tough game tonight versus this team. But, if anyone can lay together a game plan here, hopefully it is Coach K. But we just got to be able to stop Caleb Williams tonight. And it obviously starts right now. Let's see what they have in store here. It's going to start with the handoff. And he's going to go nowhere. Dallas Turner, no gain. It's one of those ideas, cut in, cut out, going against joystick. We got to be able to stop the run tonight here. It's going to be tough, man. 2nd and 10. Coach K already going to gamble here, the pass commit. Williams, it could have been picked. He read the bench concept there. I think probably 7 times out of 10 that's probably picked. It's all about play recognition right there. Coach K read the bench. Zach Ballin just couldn't animate and jump up like old Madden sakes. Very unfortunate play there to already start the game here for the Cowboys. Good tackle by Bishop there. Warner, give him 7. Again, it's all about play recognition if you're not going to switch stick. What's up, Smokey? What's up, Hemi? The good players? For me, I have Fred Warner. I have Zach Ballin on defense. 2 top 5 picks for me. Cole Bishop, a great player in real life for the Bills as a safety. Tavondre Sweat. And that's going to be in the flat. Jalen Wright. Can they catch up to him? No. He will get about 20 yards there. First down. Again, it's a hard team to beat. Caleb Williams. You got to be able to come out and play some good football. And already, it's not really the best drive here. They are going to spread their D-line out here, hopefully, to try to stop Jalen Wright. And there's a handoff, and he already got 8 yards. Got to be able to try to get a stop here. They're going to try a blitz here on 2nd and 2 from that B gap. And that's tight coverage, but a better catch by Theo Johnson. First down. Inside the 7. Well, Drew Phillips, a superstar corner there. If he can't stop him there one-on-one, might be a long night here tonight for this Dallas defense. Jalen Wright, what a job to fight there. Fell forward 3 yards, and they're already pounding the doorstep here, 2nd and goal. Remember, the big, key bank play of the drive was that Zach Baun interception chance. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but at the end of the day, I mean, you got to pick that ball off. 2nd and goal. They are going to go ahead and try. And it was going to be a sneak. Touchdown, no flags. We thought they were going to go with Jalen Wright there, so we did not play the sneak. And Atlanta's already off to a great start, 7-0. The only good news for Dallas is that offense is easier in this game, but they're going to have to match them regardless to win this football game. We're talking about a team that will go to the 7th seed with a loss tonight. Actually, I'm sorry. They actually will have the 6 or 7 seed, but nevertheless, Ramsey to the 29-yard line. It's kind of sad to be fringe in the playoffs here at 9-3, but the NFC is a pretty tough division. Conference. So even if Dallas wins this game here in Week 14, going for the first round bye is probably not going to happen. You're still going to be 2 games, well, really a game and a half behind. You would own their tiebreaker, but just shows you how important the other games are in the regular season. So to start with a dump-off pass to McBride, and he'll only get 2 yards, 2nd and 8. You got to try to protect yourself against JT Tomalalu. I'm going to say his name wrong, but, Aiden Hudson, too. I believe he has a superstar DT, too, and that is Tyleek Williams. Let's see what he has in store here, though, on 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. There he is, Emeka Egbuka underneath. There's the match. Can they score? This game is tied. Emeka Egbuka, I don't know if it was a match coverage or what, but clean pocket, Hurts up in the pocket, and clean pocket made a throw, and he got a really lucky block there from the running back Dylan Sampson, and that wheel route actually served. The wheel route actually served as a block down the field. What's up, Daniel? 7-7. We got a game here in Dallas. That was all Jalen Hurts, though. What a job by him. For some reason, my brightness is a little bit low here on my computer screen. Jalen Wright down to the 19-yard line. How do I change brightness here? All right, here we go. 7-7. It's always hard to play a 5 wide. They're going to go to man coverage here. Automatic pass commit. We have everyone right now. He's in a test Fred Warner deep, and that's going to be a mismatch. Jalen Waddle, touchdown Atlanta. To be fair, we forgot that he has Waddle. It's one thing that cannot happen, but to be fair, now we remember that it won't happen again. It's probably where you try to send some pressure there, cover 0. Make Caleb Williams make a throw under pressure there, but here's Ramsey on the return. Good return to the 41-yard line, and like I said, I'm still trying to fix this brightness thing on my computer, too. All right, here we go. Next drive for the Cowboys. And let's try to see where it is here. Accessibility. Contrast. All right, here we go. Handoff. Sampson, only 1 yard to see. 2nd and 9. Hurts able to playmaker. Find McBride. First down. All right, brightness is back. We're good. Again, that's where really sideline dead-eye comes in handy. Get out of the pocket. Yeah, it's a quarterback spy, but you're able to playmaker before that player comes down. Handoff Sampson. Give him 6. Well, they're already in soft field goal range. Right now, the spread of this game is plus or minus 3.5 points. And, this Dallas Cowboys team is not only trying to cover the spread for people who picked them tonight for primetime CKFL, but also you want to win this game for playoff hopes. Handoff, it is going to go to Sampson, and he'll get about 6. First down, and that will likely end the quarter with the way the clock excels here in franchise. They are going to actually get one more play, and they love the personnel here. The slant should be open. And there it is, the veteran of Coach K, recognizing that defense. DK, first down. Looked to me like an open cover 4 defense. The weakness of cover 4 is underneath. And Coach K saw the stick route, and he exploited it. It was actually cover 6, but it's actually a cover 4 and a cover 2 mix. That's where you get cover 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. So it was indeed a cover 4 side. So they have in store here. 1st and 10. Hurts. Able to run for a half yard. Defensive line caved in. 2nd and 10 will go down as a sack. I know, Brett. We got to get ready for that. It's not going to be easy, nevertheless. But at the end of the day, this football team's going to have to get something going here. Sampson dropped the ball, 3rd and 10. And again, it's not going to be easy on 3rd down and 10s versus football team. That, to me, that's a play that has to be caught, but I mean, it is what it is. They're going to hope they pass committed. 4th and 3, but it does make 4th down. He did pass commit there, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what you want to see. They're going to have to go for it now. And it's not going to be easy. To beat this football team, you're going to have to go for it. The backwards drag, it worked. Touchdown, no flags. Gerard. That's one of those things where Coach K on 4th down, he might go to a mutt play here and there once in a blue moon, but it's by no means cheesy, but, he does have a few plays in his back pocket on 4th down in the red zone. 14-14, it's that, all it takes is one split second. You guard that slant, the backwards drag's wide open. But to be fair, Dylan Sampson did have a questionable drop there. It was a great play by Edgerrin Cooper. And also, I saw that he did pass commit on that 3rd down. He got weak boxed. I did want to see that be a touchdown. Sampson didn't have enough speed, though, to finish the touchdown. But good job there by the Cowboys. 3rd down and 10 in the red zone, 4-down territory. Maybe he's going to pass commit, the veteran he is in Weiss, the Falcons, go out there and run the ball. Again, against that pass commit. Contain is on. And Coach K trying to get there and get the pick, but he's not fast enough to get that drag route. 1st down. To beat Kyler here, you're going to have to switch stick tonight and really try to, change of pace his offense. It's by no means going to be easy. And there's Jalen Wright. He is leveled. Nick Martin, now the 3rd-year linebacker in real life, San Fran Niner, 2nd and 10. And again, it's not going to be super easy here, against this team. They're going to try to guard the seams themselves and miss tackle there, Theo Johnson, 1st down. It's one of those things where, you guard the seam there. 5 wides by far one of the hardest defenses, or offenses stopping the game because you got to watch out for those seam passes, but then the underneath's wide open. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be a broken up play. Or blown up play. 2nd and 13. What a job by Fred Warner. He's been everywhere for this football team the last 3 years. Best part about him and Zach Bond, they've been healthy. Coach K is now going to do a little bit of a pass commit gamble here. Contain is on. 2nd and 13. And he does have a man, missed tackle, but Warner is there, still first down. That's the problem when you run cover 4. Anything underneath is going to be open, especially after the catch. But then when you play underneath, the deep ball is open. They're going to blitz here. Coach K isn't a gamble here on the blitz. And now he goes to cover 2, last second. And that's blown up. Good job containing Jalen Wright for the most part tonight, but really doesn't seem to matter. 2nd and 12, behind the sticks. These football teams still find a way to go out there and, convert these downs. They're going to go ahead here and run a cover 6 Willie. A hybrid of man coverage. Now he's in a true clock here. Smart coaching here to try to... And he's going to test him deep. This one's going to be packed. Phillips trying to get a lane, first down. Going against, I believe that was, I don't even know the receiver was, but now the game script goes in Dallas's way. One of the only DBs they have, corners, that is, Drew Phillips, first down. Hurts can run, he will, and that's going to be a fumble, and it's right back to the Falcons. I wanted to slide, but we were a half second too late. That's just great closing speed there by the Falcons. Just tremendous work there by Atlanta. The bench was covered. The running back was covered. It sucks. Handoff right. Loss of 2. No quarterback spy either. Just able to cave in there. Just great defensive line work by the Falcons. If there was a quarterback spy, I would say that's more my fault, but at the end of the day, they just came in, abruptly. They're going to go ahead here and try to run a cover 2 here. Let's see if it works. And he wanted it. I almost got there in the deep outsides. First down. They almost got him there, but Caleb Williams able to thread the needle here. This is an automatic run commit here. We know how he plays here. We're going to go ahead and try to gamble here. He's going to run the ball and try to end the half. If he passes, I'll be shocked. It is an RPO underneath, and first down, timeout Dallas. Again, turnovers are everything. The only regret I have is maybe go out there and, I don't know, run the ball on first down after that turnover. But both teams have 1 turnover tonight. Turnovers are at a premium. Handoff, Jalen Wright. There is nowhere to go in this Dallas defense. Loss of 2. I feel like we've won the trenches for the most part, but, if not that, I would consider it even as day. But, for how good the pass rush has been for, and the RPO, he got out there, and what a tackle by Bond, 3rd and 1. It's, again, one of those plays where Coach K wanted to use her that, but they are going to go ahead here and run a cover 1 press. And shade outside here for the RPO. Handoff. There's nowhere to go. It's 4th and inches. What a job by Cole Bishop there at tackle supreme. Shooting that A-gap. You don't hit stick him. You go for the normal tackle with tackle supreme. Secure tacklers. Cover 9. Cover 9, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know. I know I probably should, but... They're going to go ahead here and probably run a fake cover 0. Well, actually, you know what? Honestly, there's not enough time. Spy is in. And he got it. First down. They probably should have brought one more guy in the box, but, you know, again, things happen just so quickly. There's really not much you can do. Delayed handoff, touchdown. There is some time on the clock, though. Touchdown, Falcons. The prom, you know, it's all about chess match. You know, is it going to be an RPO, a handoff? You know, what's it going to be? Here's Shamir DK, pretty good return, 37-yard line. You know, Coach K does have a good chance here at a field goal. 13 yards, 21-17 would only be a 4-point play then by the Falcons that drive. But we get ball at half, so it's, you know, more neutral than you think. Underneath, it is going to go to McBride, and they're going to go out here and maybe get one more playoff. It's not going to be super easy to see if they can get it here. PA dagger. Play action. They did find Sampson, and he will get a few more yards, but that is going to help Cam Little be in range. Those little yards, 4 yards, actually mattered. 99 power, just like Ultimate Team here. 99 power, I believe it's Jason Sanders and Ultimate Team, but this meter is fast, folks. Here we go. It's got to be there against some of the better players like the Falcons, and they got it. From 65 yards out, Coach K got it. 21-17. Honestly, they're going to kick off deep. And if they go 65 yards on a Hail Mary, good for them. But Jalen Wright does have tank and joystick. I don't want to kick it off to him. If I were him, I would probably go a Hail Mary here. But, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, you're doing a dump-off pass to your joystick running back's not bad either. Let's see what they do here tonight. Oh, got it, neurology. Yeah, it's a really good lesson there. Nice. They're not going to pass commit. They are going to play back, though, for any cover beaters here. Hit as he throws, 2nd and 10. Well, at the end of the day, we are due for a great game here. 21-17, Monday Night Football here in the game. The new scoreboard, you know, it's a lot of fun. I think the sad part about us is that we have sadly not been able to have a snow game. We did have 2 monsoons, but I'm not really a big fan of these short kicks because things like this, 42-yard line, I would just kick off the angle kick and, you know, do the angle kick. But these 2 quarterbacks, over 80% completion. The difference of this game is that really, you know, the Dallas Cowboys, I'm trying to remember how we had our 2 scores. I think we had some good kickoff returns, at least 1 or 2 good handoffs. So a lot more yards for the Falcons than the Cowboys, but the completion percentage actually goes right now to Jalen Hurts. Does he have no outsiders? Yes, he does. We're going to double team that right there. Here's Sampson. First down. What a run. They double teamed the wrong side, though. That's the problem. Nevertheless, first down. Remember, these O-lines are 2 great O-lines. We do have 1 left tackle, Joe Alt, with superstars. And everyone else for us is a good star dev player. Sampson underneath. Stays on his feet. Give him 15. First down. My favorite part about that play, flood, is, you know, it really actually distracts. See how he guarded that out route? And then, good pocket work there up in the pocket there by Hurts. It actually distracts the middle linebacker and stuff like that. Cutback, Sampson. Give him 11. First down. These Dallas Cowboys giving a fight tonight. You know, really giving everything you have here because, you know, you kind of want to make a statement here, you know, to the league that, you know, these Falcons are beatable if you play disciplined football. Hurts they're going to call grounding on that. Unable to get out of the pocket there. Good cover zero there. Good cover zero there by the Falcons. Everything was covered and he had to have underneath coverage and he did. Against curls. Probably should have had an audible there. We are going to go ahead here and actually run the ball and hope he pass commits. Handoff Sampson. I mean, that's fine. 6 yards. It does make it manageable though now. They're just going to run verticals here. 3rd down and 17. Hopefully someone's open. They're going to try to get a deep curl route there. Obviously an angle route. Here we go. They'll see what they can do after the catch. Gerard. 4th and 9. They're going to have to kick it to stay in the game mathematically. That's one of those things where you never know. Break a tackle, whatever. He plays the fake. Smart coach there by the Falcons. 21-20. Injury timeout. And oh no, Hutchinson's hurt. Not a pretty sight there if you're a Falcons fan. Hopefully he comes back. 21-20. We got a game here. The difference is the touchdown versus 2 field goals. But all you are, what a hit! Be careful when you dive. Aiden will return soon. 21-20. You got to be able to contain Worthy and Waddle. Worthy and Waddle. That's their names. Yep. 1st and 10. It's going to be a pass play. Underneath. 1st down. Again, that bench concept, so hard to guard both. Especially when you're using that deep safety. You really feel worthless in a deep blue there in the middle of the field against bench. They are going to pass commit here. Oh, the pass commit might come back to get them. 2nd and 4. I don't mind the quarterback draw there. Here's when you pass commit. It's a really good play call there by the Falcons, knowing they were probably going to pass commit in 5 wide. Just 5 wide mechanics. Williams. Really testing Drew Phillips a lot tonight. 3rd and 4. It's a deep blue zone there against a corner route. Coach K here going to send a blitz. I'm shocked he does not have threat detector. I'm shocked. Here comes that blitz. We had a quick off, sadly. And 1st down. Handoff, Jalen Wright. There's nowhere to go. It's Jack Sawyer, loss of 2. And again, you beat this football team. You're not going to win via the run game more times than not. I mean, they've done a pretty good job at stopping the run, but the real question is, can they go out here now and stop a pass play? And he's going to go deep, and he has him. That's just a lack of pass rush there by the Cowboys. It's absolutely a 4-man rush there. Coach K does his usual gamble, does not pay off. 28-20. I mean, the whole slants went from, left to right. That's like a good 3.5 seconds in the route. I mean, someone's got to get pressure there because we can't be guarding routes for 4 seconds. Here's Ramsey. 1st down. If he was anyone faster, it's probably a touchdown, but, it goes back to one of those things where, it's that middle kick. I just don't like that middle kick because you have defenders on the left, defenders on the right, and, it's just one of those things where it's like, the middle is very vulnerable. Handoff, Sampson. Give him 6. 2nd and 4. This is all play calling here, trying to tie the game up here in an 8-point drive. In the air, almost picked. 3rd and 4. They knew that was going to be cover 0, but they could not get it off in time. 3rd and 4. Abuka! Can't hold it in. 4th and 4. That was open there in that cover 3 look. And here's the game right here, 4th and 4. It has to be there, absolutely. I think it's going to be cover 0 here. McBride caught the ball. First down. It was cover 0. That's why they didn't want to trade McBride. 1-on-1. You just have to trust that your players are there to make a play. Handoff. Nowhere to go. Loss of a half. 2nd and 10. Now you got to start thinking here. Even if you do score, they might have a field goal drive here to win the game. 2nd and 10. Underneath, Abuka! After the catch, first down. First down and goal, Dallas. He's so elusive after the catch. It's so fun to have him in Dallas. Coach K is 2 for 2 on 4th down tonight. Trusting Trey McBride and Jalen Hurts. 1 turnover each tonight. What a game. It's now quarter 4. This is definitely where you're going to see a pass. And hopefully they play the run. But Kyler does watch my Ultimate Team streams. He might know my out route play here. Good luck to him. Hurts. That could be a fumble. We'll take 2 yards from that. Again, there is no spy. There is no spy on that, but they just cave in so quickly. Great fundamental defense there by the Falcons, if not a touchdown. Everything was covered there to my liking. Good job staying disciplined there and not selling out on the run there for the Falcons. PA cross. A bullshit Dova sack there, 3rd and goal. Not going to lie to you, that was bullshit. Coach K isn't going to call slants. He has not really called it that much all game. I'm assuming they'll be ready for it, though. And the slant was open, but only for 2 yards. 4th and goal, and they're going to have to go for it. Sadly. The other slant was probably open the left side, but they didn't get the animation there where it was caught in stride. Probably would have been a touch. What up, baby chaps? They're going to have to go for it here. Here's the game right here, ladies and gents. It's not going to be easy. Abuka! Oh, and that probably ends the game. He didn't get his feet inbounds. Damn. But the game is not over yet. What a way to lose the game. Great post-snap read there, but at the end of the day, it's not enough. Handoff right side. Again, this run, he's been great all night. Falls forward for 7. And you got to be careful there. Cole Bishop, deep blue zone, but Worthy caught it, first down. Handoff right side, Worthy, what a hit, give him 4. I'm sorry, Jalen Wright. 2nd and 6. That could have been a sack or a pick. He was throwing it in the vicinity of Theo Johnson. Brings up 3rd down and 6. Good luck here to his team. 3rd and 6. Seam pass. Worthy. And that might do it. Touchdown, Falcons. It'll be a touchback, and they got to move quick. Shamir DK, only 4 yards. Probably not the move there to take 4 yards, but lose some yards or lose some clock, but they got to move. And that is not the right button we wanted. It's going to be picked. Hill. That is not the button I wanted, and that is probably the game. Well, pending a miracle, Coach K is now 9-4. And he will drop in the ranks. Not the game they wanted, but at the end of the day, you know, they will make some adjustments heading in the postseason if they make it, but you just got to stop the run. I mean, hopefully you have better DBs than me, but, you know, it's a very beatable football team, but you know, a good game by him and, you know, not really the best game by me, you know, situationally, you know, down the stretch, a fumble by Hurts, and we could not get our feet in bounce there on the Abuka catch, but, I mean, nevertheless, no matter what, here it's going to be a 3-score game. Toss play right side. Touchdown, no flags. They are going to play it out just for fun, but they still have 4 more games left, 15, 16, 17, 18. 4 more games left in this season. So we will see where they land. Obviously, they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Handoff, Sampson, first down. I wouldn't say easy at all, Brett. Everything's earned this game, but good game to him. We'll find out soon, AP chaps. Here's McBride underneath. First down, clock ticks. Gerard dropped it, 2nd and 10. I think the hardest part about this team is going to be stopping the receivers. But like I said, I mean, that's what happens when you trade a good player, Xavier Worthy and Jalen Waddle. He does have Ibuka deep. And it's going to be a missed throw. 3rd and 10. He did find Sampson underneath. 1st down, stops the clock. We're going to call slants now for the 2nd time here. 2nd and 10. Good job by JT and Aiden Hutchinson. They have stopped the run game of Jalen Hurts all night. Clean pocket for Hurts. They're going to loft it up for the rookie Gerard there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Hurts smartly slides. 1st down. They got to hurry up and score here. Hurts is going to run it in. Touchdown, Dallas. But can they get the onside kick? They'll go for one keep of the game. That's the problem with the Falcons is, you know, there were moments in this game when they had no spy, and that was when Hurts did get vulnerable. But besides that, good defense by, of course, Atlanta. Onside kick has to be there. The onside kick is successfully recovered, but the field goal is not a guarantee. So they are going to go ahead here, and he's going to knee it here, but Coach K is not going to let him knee it out here. It is still mathematically a game. He has to make the field goal to end the game mathematically. That is the only problem with the onside kick. I mean, you were gonna need the onside kick anyway. They're just gonna do an all-out blitz here. Corner blitz, blown up. I still think he'll make the kick from 57, but if he doesn't make the kick, or really he should punt, honestly, pin me. But if he makes the kick, which again, I think he'll make it, but we'll see if they pass it here. And that's going to be a great play. That'll end the game. It is really tough to stop those receivers. Good job there in the deep zone by Fred Warner, but that is going to do it. 42-27. You had 3 timeouts. You had to hope for a missed field goal there. Quick score, onside kick, Hail Mary. You never ever quit till the fat lady sings. Chris Paul hits a 3. Yep. Good game there to Kyler, man. Good game there by Caleb Williams. It's going to be hard to beat him at the end of the day, but, you know, you got to make the playoffs first. And we will see what seed we get. Even if we get a lower seed, I would have to win the first game to even play them as a lower seed. But it's going to be tough, man. Going to be tough. But yeah, good game, man. So what's going to happen is the Dallas Cowboys had the 4 seed by a half game. The problem is the Giants are getting a forced win. So they are going to get a win. And then what's going to happen is they will be 8-5. So we have to either hope Detroit loses. So then maybe all three of us can make it. Dallas, Washington, Giants. Obviously as of right now, the Rams, they've had some forced losses, busy, whatever. But I mean, the NFC, nevertheless, doesn't matter, what happens. I mean, what happens is the upper half of the conference. And, really any one of these teams can make an argument to go to the Super Bowl. The Falcons, obviously, making the best case. But, it's going to be tough, man, nevertheless. But, at the end of the day, hopefully we get a few more games in before Sim tonight. But, we are right now down one user. I believe just the Patriots. Pretty good to only have one vacancy. This is right now. We played 6 seasons last year. So, this is right now our 9th season of CKFL, 3rd season of this year. We played 6 last year. So the Falcons, they won the NFC last year, but they lost versus the Chargers in the Super Bowl. Dallas, they won the conference the first year, and they lost versus the Chargers as well in the first year. So both of these teams made the Super Bowl in the first 2 years. It was a great matchup. Nevertheless, it really just comes down to, you got to stop the run on first down and then see if they'll run it on second down and stuff like that. I mean, you win the trenches. I'm not really sure what the actual box score was for Jalen Wright, but I mean, at the end of the day, 17 carries for 30 yards. I mean, you kind of did your job. It just shows you, I mean, that's literally like 1.8 yards per carry. I mean, it just shows you how brutal Madden really is, stopping, getting stops on defense, whatever. And, in all honesty, the hardest part is obviously Xavier Worthy and Jalen Waddle, let alone Theo Johnson, some great receivers he has. So, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a great league, in the end. But for us, we have to try to do our best to try to get that 3 seed. The Lions are right now going to fair sim against the Broncos because no one reached out. So, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, we have the 4 seed. So to end our season, we have the Giants, tough. San Fran, tough. And then Bucks is tough. Rex. And then Lions are tough. So in all honesty, I really could see myself going 0-4. I could see myself going 2-2, but even 2-2 might not be enough. So we had a really, I mean, it's kind of sad that we're 9-4. We're probably going to, miss playoffs. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, we will do our best. It also depends what happens from the other teams, in their games. So never ever give up, and we will play tough to the end. But I have a funny feeling it'll probably be the 7th seed. So, me versus Lions might be the 7th seed. We'll see. True, Brett, true. Oh my God, AP Chaps, Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Overall, fun game, man. I will see you guys later. More franchise.